to you. And the last thing I would say is hold yourself accountable. Hold yourself accountable, meaning that you can't, nobody knows if you do the jar except for you. Because I could tell Mike all day, yeah, Mike, I went and did the jar today. I did this. I got some names and some numbers, but you got to hold yourself accountable to another standard and say to yourself, it's not everybody else. Victims do not win in this business. Only victorious people do. Victims do not win in this business. I'll say that again. You are not a victim. You are not a victim. None of us on this call are victims. We just have to make some decisions to move in the right direction. And I know for me and for all the vets on here in the office, we have to, I have to step up and I have to eliminate and I have to be laser focused in this thing because I know what the end result is going to be if I do what I'm supposed to do. So I don't know, Coach. This was really just a take a look at me and what I'm doing. And that's what I got, man.
Jay, that was good, man. And it's not obviously it's not a surprise that you're one of the winners of the trip. It's not a surprise that you are one of the next RVPs. I'll share this with you before I bring Daryl up. The thing in this business you got to understand, guys, I'm going to be very transparent with you because Cole had a conversation with me yesterday, and I appreciated it because the conversation was a conversation of gratitude. Cole's been around from the beginning, as several of you have. Cole has seen the peak of our business all the way to, the lowest point of our business when Tyler Craig passed away. He's seen it. He's been there. He's lived it. He is truly part of the family. And he also was mature enough. He told me this, and this is true. Let me help you out. If you're any kind of person of integrity and you care about your family and doing something special, Primerica is not going to go away. You may space out a little bit. You may try to ignore it a little bit, but if you're the right kind of person, you're not going to be able to just forget about the business, right? And that's what Cole alluded to. And then he went on to say some wonderful things about me, and I appreciate that. And I told Cole this. I said, listen, our job, I'm going to go to work. I'm going to work. I'm going to do it. I love it. I'm passionate about it. We cannot beg people to go to work. I will be there. And my point, Jay, is this. If we're going to win in this business, at the biggest I've ever been, I had people around me that were me when I was not in the room. What does that mean? We thought alike. We talked alike. These different things. Tyler Craig would wear my butt out about what's the next training on? What are we having for op meeting dinner? What are we doing here? What are we doing there? And at the time, I didn't understand, though, how important until I lost him. Same thing with Derek Simpson. Derek Simpson called me 3 days ago way home from the beach, and he said, Mike, we got to start doing stuff together. I miss it. I want to get back to it. So it's that family thing, Jay, that you're talking about. But let me tell you this. I don't let my family members lose and just ignore it. So that's a very bold comment and a very bold request, but I love the request, all right? Our job as leaders, you cannot win in this business if you don't have a strong downline or strong downlines, plural, and a strong upline, okay? So I ask you this. Take a hard look today, over the weekend, by Monday morning, take a very hard look at what you don't have to succeed. What do you not have, okay? Because here's my job as the leader of this group. I got to make sure that I make myself available for communication. I talk to Jay McKinney, Daryl McNeal every single day. Why did I just bring up those two? Because they're the ones speaking along with David and Kesha Hamilton. Whenever I have some ideas, I run those things by David because David has earned his right to be a regional vice president. His opinion is extremely valuable. I try to make sure I check with him before I call any plays. Does that mean his opinion is more valuable than other people? No, but what I'm trying to say here is I'm not too big and too immature to not use my resources, okay? And I'm not trying to beat anybody up because Lord knows we all do these things and then we stop doing them, right? The easy things, they're easy to do, but they're also easy not to do, and we got to remember that. But my point is this. My job as the leader, and I'm not telling, look, my job is to provide an environment, to communicate, to use my skill set to help you build your teams, okay? If that's my job, and if that's David and Kesha's job, if we don't have people that are taking advantage of the resources that we are willing to provide, the communication that we're willing to provide, it's real simple. We got to find the people that will. Does that make sense to you all? And that's what I was telling Cole. I was like, Cole, I'm going to be here, baby. He said, he made a joke. He's like, I hadn't talked to you at the Fast Start School. I thought we were better than that. You damn right we're better than that. So you call me. I'm out here working, you know, and I think that's the whole family side of this deal, because the reality of it is we got people on here, Jay, and I know you agree with me. You've probably had more to say about growth of the office than anybody I've worked with. We have people that have more talent than a ton of the people on stage, but they hadn't made the decision to go to work, or they don't understand what work is. And I'm going to end with this on this little rant I'm going on. Camila sent me a message. I shared it on the group. She shared a message with me. Now, Camila's teaching, okay? So Camila's a single mother, and Camila is still finding time to set appointments, ask me to hop on. I hop on from the ball field because winners find a way or they make a way. Now, how much sense does it make for Camila? And I'm not tooting my own horn. Same thing about David and Kesha. I'm a national, I almost said senior national. I'm putting it out in the universe. I'm a national sales director. I make a serious income. I have over 600 codes in my organization. I worked at Sonic as a manager, broke it as a joke when I joined. How in the heck are you not plugging people into me to help me build your team? Oh, and I can take people out to dinner, bring them over to the house, bring them to Saints games, all these different things. I'm not sitting here saying that I'm amazing. What I'm saying is that is a resource you aren't using. And I would just say that might need to change, Jay. Not you personally. Well, all of us. But what I'm trying to say is I'm ready, Jay. I said a good upline, a good group of downlines. Let's go to work. That's all you really need is to go find the people. So, Jay, my girl is getting a little antsy. Daryl, you there, my friend?
Yes, sir, I am.
Sorry about that, man. I saw Seth cooking. I got excited. You know what I'm saying? But he ain't going to bring me nothing. Argue about nothing. Daryl, like I said, man, as if y'all don't know, DJ joined the business a long time ago. I met with him on a Sunday afternoon because a recruit brought him to see me. The same thing I was just talking about. His recruit brought him in to see me. I used the skill set that I have earned and recruited DJ McNeal. DJ McNeal is now full-time in the business after 3.5-4 years. He is the top producer on his way to regional vice president. So DJ, tell us what you did, babe. Share the good news.
Yeah, Mike. First off, I want to acknowledge my 3 new recruits. You know, they've been recruited for a while. They in here with me at the office. You know, hanging out with Dad, man, trying to get some things together. But yeah, Mike. Some things I got from Fast Start School, Mike, were really about. He really gave the blueprint to everything we want to do. He gave the blueprints on new recruits getting off to a fast start. He gave the blueprint on how to make $100,000 a year, and he gave the blueprint on how to make $1 million. He laid it out. If you didn't get anything from that, man, you weren't really paying attention. There was a lot of information given during that time. I was in information overload. I got so many pages of notes that I still haven't had a chance to go back through and review. But it was really exciting news. So one of the things he talked about was new agents and what they should focus on with getting off to a fast start. And one of the things is, first, you got to make your list. You got to make your list off top. You know, day one, when you sign your IBA, you need to go ahead and get off to a fast start by, one, creating your list with names and numbers and being coachable by whoever recruited you. They know a little bit more than you about what it is that it takes. So you need to be coachable by them and let them help you get off to a fast start. Start getting them in front of people and start studying. That's kind of something that I'm doing right now with my recruits right now. They all have been on appointments. They're all studying. In fact, Victoria, she finished her all of her chapters yesterday, and Tarmisha and Victoria are getting ready to test again next week, along with Latanya. So all 3 of those right there are getting off to they've got off to a fast start. Tarmisha's been promoted to district, and she's ready to get promoted to division, and that's why she's working to help push Victoria up to district right now. So they're all doing what they're being coached to do, because one thing Bill said again at Fast Start School was, the bad things, either you allow it or you teach it. And right now I'm trying to teach the good things. So I'm teaching them exactly what Mike has taught me over the years and trying to show them how to do it faster. The other thing you asked me to speak about was the specifics on how I went from averaging $45K a premium a month to now over 18,000. And Mike, what I did was I just started doing it faster. I became relentless and made Primerica my magnificent obsession. I've heard Tanya Post speak before where she talked about where she was came into the business looking to make just $1,500 a month, and then she went from $1,500 a month to $1,500 a week to $1,500 a day, and how she's trying to get to $1,500 every hour. And that's what I'm doing right now. I'm just doing it faster and more consistently. I'm sticking in it. No matter what I'm doing, Primerica is always on my brain, no matter where I'm at. I was at the game last night with my sons, and as soon as I walked in, I ended up talking to one of the officers as I'm walking through the gate, and talked to one of the officers. I'm enjoying my time with my boys, but I'm still doing Primerica. I have an event later on this evening, but throughout the day, as soon as I'm done with this, I'm going to go write up some more applications before I go party later on. Primerica is always in the forefront of everything I'm doing now. I never put it on the back burner and say it's something that I can just do whenever. No, it's something that is helping me change my community. It's something helping me change the lives of my boys and to put me where I say I want to be. Where I was before working at LSU, I was working on salary and they were paying pretty good. But when things started adding up and I had to go and travel, me and my boys traveling to California for football, it wasn't enough. And LSU would not allow me to grow. But that's what Primerica has presented to me, was an opportunity to grow past wherever they said I could be at. So I'm taking full advantage of that. And that's what I advise everybody else to do. Go ahead and take advantage of this opportunity. It's a great opportunity. And all you have to do is want it. How bad do you want it? Do you want to just make $1,500 a month? Are you doing what that takes? Or do you want to make $5,000 a month? Are you doing what that takes? The blueprint was laid out throughout Fast Start School. I got tons of notes. I'm looking at it. I don't even know what to talk about specifically from these notes. That jar situation is another thing that I've started doing, where he talked about doing a policy a day, or recruit, the appointments, setting appointments, getting a pass notice, doing those things. I started using that. Me and Jay have talked about that a couple of times, and we're working on that right now. But Mike, I'm kind of all over the place when I'm thinking about Fast Start School.
Great job. And listen, here's the thing, and I've had some conversations with some people, and I know, look, this business in general can be tough. Okay, let's just get that out of the way. Business in general can be tough, and most of us came from an employee background. Okay, most of us came from a place where somebody else scheduled our time and they controlled our money. Now, you'll hear me say this all the time. Being an employee, you may not like it, but it's not that difficult, right? I mean, Jay, you know where you got to be in the morning when you go to work. Daryl knew he maybe didn't always want to go, but he went for fear of losing his job, right? So why is business sometimes tough? Well, because you got to have some self-discipline that you didn't necessarily have to have before, right? You have to create the self-discipline. And in a lot of cases, you're going to get knocked down. But here's my point. There's a difference between seeking happiness and seeking joy. And I've talked to Jay about this quite a bit. And I alluded to this with Cole. What does it mean by seeking happiness? Okay. Well, in this business, if you do 8 appointments, Jay, eight qualified appointments, okay, 5 are going to tell you they're going to do business with you, Cole. 3 are going to do business with you, and 1 of them is going to join the business, right? So what that basically means is, out of 8 appointments, 2 of them are going to either lie to you or not qualify, and then 3 are going to do it. So that means you're failing more than you are succeeding. And that will not make you happy. If closing is what makes you happy, well, you're going to be unhappy a good portion of the time, Quentin. But let me show you this. If outworking people brings you joy, then you're going to end up where you need to be. Does that make sense, Jay? If outworking people, if doing double-digit appointments a week brings you joy and makes you proud, and you can go look at Tiffany in the face, Cole, and say, you know what, I went for it. If you can go, if you go, Lalinda, to your kids and say, you know what, I paid a price today that most people won't pay, that is going to put you where you want to be. I have never, ever once looked and made sure I qualified for a company trip. and I've never missed a company trip. Why? It's because I'm just going to work. I'm just going to do what I got to do. I'm going to work. I'm going to develop leaders, and I'm going to find myself where I want to be. It's funny, Daryl, because yesterday I picked up Stella from school. You know, I take her to school. I pick her up for school, and she asked me, she said, "Daddy, are you retired?" I was like, "What? Where did that come from?" She said, "Well, you know, you're all over the place. You don't have to be there. You don't have to be that." And what she was saying is, "What do I work?" Right? And she said, "Well, who's your boss?" I said, "Well, I don't have a boss." And she didn't understand what that meant. Finally, I had to say, "Well, Mama's my boss," right? I had to give her an answer. But my point, guys, is that makes me very, very proud. Okay. That makes me very happy. But the reality of it is the way we got to this point and the way we're going to continue to get to this point is to maximize the time that we spend. And that's what I'm talking about with DJ. Whenever DJ came to me and said, "Hey, should I go full time?" Well, in the back of my mind, I'm sitting, and I wasn't going to give him some fluff answer, because if I'm not telling the truth and I just want him to go full time because I want a full time agent, he's going to fail. I said, "Daryl, right now you write around 4,000 or 5,000 in premium a month. We don't communicate that much. You are securities licensed, so there's pros and cons in this situation. If you're willing to double up your efforts, quadruple your efforts, and communicate with me every day, you're not going to have any problems. As a matter of fact, you'll be one of the biggest hitters in the state." Why am I saying that? The dude worked 2 jobs, drove back and forth from Alexandria to LSU to go to work daily or almost every other day. That dude knows where to work and how to work. He's just got to implement the work ethic in his own business and not do it for LSU and Uber or whatever the heck he was doing. What was it? No, it was Waiter. Amazon. I mean, LSU and Waiter is who he was putting in 50, 60 hours a week for. If he's willing to put in 50, 60 hours a week, creating new business, doing appointments, communicating with me, communicating with his team, well, he's going to win. And now you're seeing Tarmisha, who was one of the biggest hitters in this office last month. She has like 20 sales or something like that. Oh, the last thing I'm going to say, I'm going to bring up David. What Daryl did not allude to is the same thing Jay didn't allude to, or Jay did allude to. One of the biggest reasons is he found a superstar in Tarmisha. Now, I don't have the numbers in front of me, but he was training Tarmisha. I don't know how many people Daryl directly recruited the month Tarmisha came, but he found a superstar in Tarmisha. So if Daryl has somebody who's motivated and wants to do something special for her family, there's no way that you're going to be able to compete with him if you do not have somebody to train. Let me help you out. I would be searching for people to train every minute of every day till if I find too many people that I have to get help training. And nobody's at that point right now. So David,
hey, Mike, she's responsible out of the 18, she's responsible for a little bit over $7,000.
How much?
Over $7,000 out of the 18.
Come on. And she showed up to Fast Start School. She got her name called. She's about to pass her exam. Now Daryl is about to go from self-employed to making passive income. Okay. Daryl was working at Waiter and LSU a second ago. I said that. There's no way he was going to get paid an override, which is money that comes whether you're there or not there. Jay just made his first override as Haley being a licensed agent. Jay has made plenty of overrides from Miss Whitney Johnson being his licensed agent. Guys, we got to get real here. We got to know the name of the game. David, please hit on some of the stuff you and I talked about. And also, if you don't mind, I'd like to hear your perspective on how important it is to be training a motivated new agent in a warm market.
Awesome. Appreciate it, Coach. Actually, I'm going to turn it over to my wife. Then I'm going to go after her. Go ahead, Keith.
Yes. Go ahead, Coach.
I just said even better. Go ahead.
Good morning, team. It's Saturday morning. It's over 30 people on the call. You guys are just committed. So got a few things here. We met with the team on Monday night. We do a Monday night call, just kind of follow up, start off the week. And one of the things we talked about is getting organized. I heard Siobhan Landry speak on a Women in Primerica Zoom during 2020, and she said, an organized woman can rule the world. And, you know, of course, we're being a little biased because it was a women's Zoom, but I'm going to say this, an organized person, man or woman, can literally rule the world. There's a scripture, and I'm going to paraphrase, it talks about an undisciplined person is like a city with no walls. What do I mean by that? Anybody can ransack, get in, throw your schedule off. You have no boundaries. And so we were talking to the team about that in terms of having standards, having expectations for your business, having a level of professionalism. You know, how do you come to these Zoom meetings, or how do you come to the office? There's a standard, because already, you know, Primerica gets a rap sometimes, right? We don't need to give them added things to say because we don't look the part as a financial professional. So we were just kind of going over these things. And there's a saying that talks about how your business rises or falls to the level of your systems. And so David and I knew one thing: we got to get better at implementing things that are just simple. You know, the newest person can do it. And so what we're talking about now is having a checklist where, you know, and we had one before, but it's just a matter of what's your system. Don't change if it works. If it's not broke, don't try to fix it. So we're going back to things that are super simple. And there's a checklist from the new person can have to know what it takes to become a district leader. Because we realized, man, when was the last time we promoted a district leader? So we got to get more people going after district, new, excited about getting promoted to district leader. And we have a checklist in place. Another thing we talked about is working from a schedule. You know, Coach Mike, you said, I think somebody else talked about it, but a lot of people know what they work on their job. They have a schedule for work, but they don't have a schedule for life. And so when you talk about meeting with the new recruit, they're like, let me see when I'm off. But they don't realize we don't need to meet for 8 hours like you work a job. We need to meet for about 30 minutes. I need to find out your goals. I need to find out what you're going for. So it's kind of helping people navigate a schedule. Maybe they can only work Primerica Tuesdays and Wednesdays based on what all they have going on in life. But when they really come here, they're really working Primerica Tuesdays and Wednesdays. So we're talking to people about working from a schedule. And number 3 is working from a list. Daryl McNeal talked about this. It's so important. The new recruits sometimes overthinks and they're like, well, I don't know, you know, I don't have anybody. And we were talking to them about, I think I was telling one of the newest promoted district leaders, Dejanay Linda Bowers, I asked her, I said, hey, how many qualified appointments have you been on? Because according to the checklist, it said you need to be on a minimum of 10. And we got to counting and figuring out, like, wait a minute, if you have yet to, and you got all these great qualified appointments that are coming up, but if you have not yet been on 10, imagine however many other people who are new who have not yet seen 10 qualified training appointments with their trainer. And so all these things are important. I'll talk too about Rob Davis when he talked about the scripts. We're telling our new people those scripts are great, but they're not for you, the new person. Rob Davis talked about that script in terms of people who already have a client base. They've been here for a long time. So you don't need to send a text out to your aunt who has not been on the training appointment or seen what you do about, you know, life insurance. Don't do that because you don't yet have the reputation for that industry. You're building that. We're going to help you build that. But those new scripts are not for you. You need to create a 1 through 50 list. Go through your phone. We're going to show you how to qualify it. And then last thing, Coach, I have is keep asking for help and keep asking what's next. Champions seek the heat. Somebody that's been calling us every morning like she used to, she's on the call, Anastasia Love. Quentin and David talk every day. So, you know, champions are calling their leader and they're reaching out. They're finding out, what do I need to do to get better? What do I need to be working on right now? They're touching bases, saying what I got for the day. What are my plans? What's my schedule for the day? So they can find out how they can get help. And that's what I got, Coach. David, I'll turn it over to you.
Awesome. So can I share my screen, Jay? Cool. So this is what happens. You know, Kesha, y'all did an amazing job, babe. Always. She's the structured person. I'm the A personality. Forget structure. We're just gonna take this thing and run through it, right? I don't need no structure. Plan what? I don't plan. We just gonna run it and do it, right? But Kesha keeps everything on structure, on pace, on you know, I work for her, you know. I work for her, right? Now I'm just playing, but DJ, Jay, Coach Mike, man, an amazing job, amazing training. You know, type in the chat. If you ever sat down with a new recruit, you ask them, hey, look, I need you to make a list. And they ever said, have you ever heard this before? If you have, type a yes in the chat. Man, I don't really know nobody. I don't really deal with people like that. Man, I don't really, you know what I'm saying? I'm not really no people's person. Man, you know, I mean, I don't want to meet with my family, man. You don't want to meet with my family. My family kind of like, you know what I'm saying? They like, you know, they just rough. If you ever met with somebody like that, type a yes in the chat, right? And I'm gonna show you. See, people are already overthinking. Don't be doing the overthinking for them, right? So many times we go and ask them for a 30 name list, and we expect them to just start dumping off after we just talked to them about insurance. After we just talked to them about making $1,500 selling insurance an hour. That's what we say, right? You can make $1,500 in 1 hour selling insurance. So when you ask them for a 30 name list, the first thing in their head is, who need insurance? Oh, I know who. My aunt, she just got out the hospital. She had open heart surgery. She need insurance. You know what? I know who need insurance. I know my cousin, she just had a seizure, like 3 seizures. She need insurance because I don't want them to raise up. So they start thinking all this other stuff. They thinking of insurance of people that are sick. They start thinking all these people that they don't have. I don't deal with people like that. I don't even like people. I don't like people. I just pay my $124, but I don't even like people. I want to make $1,500 a month, but I don't even like people. I don't deal with people like that. You know, I really stay to myself. If you heard that before, type a yes in the chat. I kind of stay to myself. You know, I don't really, you know, I'm kind of in my own, you know what I'm saying? I'm my own person. I kind of stay to myself, right? So you kind of got to give them some structure so they can now come out of their own thinking, right? So what I did, and this is what I do all the time. That's why I kind of get like very like, I got upset one month. We did like over doggone 80 appointments, and all of them was non-qualified. Every last one of them, non-qualified. Had like 80 recruits and 2,000 in premium. Boy, that's a whop business right there. That's a business with a bunch of people, but no money, right? So I'm gonna share my screen. I'm gonna show you how we're gonna do this. We're gonna break this thing down because I like to be practical. I like to be real, and I like to be like Kesha was saying. We went back. I can't share. Jay, hit me. Plug me into the one that says I'm gonna cut my camera on just for a few seconds because it look bad. Hit me on that one right there. That one right there. I got my hand right there. You see me moving? Hit me on that one right there. Right there. I was doing my physical hand, not a digital hand. I don't do that digital stuff. Cool. Still can't share. I'm gonna raise my hand, Jay. I really want to share this because it's vital, right? It's very vital because co-host, there you go. And because of the simple fact, once you see this, it's gonna say, man, this makes sense, right? It's gonna make so much sense to you. So watch this. I'm gonna share my screen. And this is all you do with a brand new recruit. Because remember, they don't know nobody. They're gonna say, I don't know nobody. Right? This is what you're gonna show. So you're gonna ask for a 6 to 5 hot list, right? So you're gonna break it down in categories, right? You want to break this thing down in categories so much that they able to really think in compartments. So you're gonna say, give me 6 of your family members, names and numbers. That's it. 6 family members, names and numbers. So guess what we doing? We waiting for them to give their aunts, their uncles, their brothers, their sisters, names and numbers. That's it. Names and numbers. 6 and names and numbers. Then I'm going to ask them, who are your 6 friends? Well, I ain't got no friends. Well, gotcha. Let me ask you a question. When you have a baby, who would you have if you couldn't get to your baby and it was a very big emergency? Who was 3 people that you call? That you close to? They're going to put those names and numbers down. So watch this. Give me 6 coworkers. See, now I'm compartmentalizing who you're getting because most people are going, because remember, this is the name of the business. Then we're going to get 6 organization associates. Church, if you go to church, give me 6 people you go to church with. Now give me 6 couples you know. I don't know no couples. Well, give me 6 people that got baby daddies or baby mamas. Not just give me 6 random people off the dump that you probably done had cross dealings with or whatever, Facebook friends, whoever. This is where you put your Facebook friends. So now after that, and then I'm going to now go through that list. Out of your family members, are they married? Or are they ages 25 to 55? Right? Do they have kids? Are they homeowners? And do they have a full-time job? And we're going to go through and check each one. Right? We're going to go all the way down through this whole list. And then what we're going to do is we're going to start calling those people right then and there. And guess what's going to happen? I'm not calling them from my phone. We're going to call them from your phone because you know them. Why would I call them from my phone? They ain't going to answer my number. You know them. We're going to call them from your phone. And then when we schedule an appointment, guess what's gonna happen? You gonna tag me, or you gonna add me inside of the text. Once we set the appointment, you're gonna add me inside of the text to confirm it and to show them when the appointment is. And once you do that, now if they ask, so what is it gonna be going on this appointment? Now I can jump in that text message, that text thread, and be able to talk to them. So now guess what happens? I got a ton of appointments with qualified people, because we made them, man, we made this bad. That's why I said we're gonna fix this. The things we were bad at, we fixed. We were bad at QBI, and we were bad at setting qualified appointments. So the things that we were bad at, we're gonna fix. And then after that, I'm gonna call 6 of them. Watch this. Guess who I'm gonna call? I'm gonna call 6 of your family members, because those are the people that are close to you. And guess who you gonna call? You're gonna call the rest of them and schedule the appointments. I'm not. Because why? I'm gonna call the 6. You're gonna hear me do it. And then guess what's gonna happen? You're gonna call the rest of them, and I'm gonna hear you call 6, and then you're gonna call the rest of them on your own. So now we got 12 appointments set for the week. And then after that, guess what? So this is how the weekly thing should go. So the first week, we're gonna go on a ton of appointments, and you're gonna be studying. I'm gonna do the appointments. You're gonna schedule some, I'm gonna schedule some, but I'm gonna do them. You're gonna study. The second week, guess what's gonna happen? Then you're gonna hear me do it. Then we're gonna go and do some review on what we said and what questions we asked. So the first week, you're gonna hear me do it. That's all you're doing is recording it. Second week, you're gonna now go and review. The third week, guess what's gonna happen? We're gonna do it together. So these appointments, I'm gonna do with you. I'm gonna say a couple things. You're gonna say a couple things in the presentation. But I'm gonna close it. And that's how we're gonna move from that third week. Now the fourth week, the last week, because now you done took your test, you done passed your test. The fourth week, guess what's gonna happen? You gonna do these appointments, and I'm gonna be sitting here listening to you. So now I ain't doing no talking. You gonna do the talking, and I'm gonna close it. You're gonna do the whole presentation, and I'm gonna close it. And then guess what's gonna happen? Now your license has hit. Probably the first week of the next month, if not the second. We just had 3 licenses hit this week. And then now you're going to go, and I had one guy, his license hit last week and wrote his first sale when his license hit. Then he on his way to write. That's Demetrius Johnson. Then we got V on the call. She's writing sales like it ain't no tomorrow. Then we got who else? Jamacia, her license just hit today. Then we had Monty, her license just hit today. So guess what we're doing? We're plugging them in. I sit down with them and show them the presentation, show them the difference between cash value and term. Then I have them go over it. And then we talk about QBI, the reason why we write good business. Because we run a business. So that's it, man. If y'all take a screenshot of this, this is what you want to do. This is how you want to get on qualified appointments. The biggest thing you want to do is teach somebody how to do what you're doing and be able to set appointments in the qualified market. That's all I got, Coach.
No, great job, David. And I want to make sure that people understand, I've had people, and I'm glad that people are paying attention. I think you need to understand what it means to work hard and smart, okay? Because if you work smart, you don't have to work as hard, okay? David mentioned the 80 appointments. Guys, whenever, like, as an example, when some of y'all know, as a hobby, I do some real estate stuff, okay? So when somebody contacts me, I want you to relate this to your Primerica business and your Primerica activity, okay? You need to hear me on this, because I'm telling you, somebody who knows how to work smart is going to totally outwork somebody who does not. And the person that does not is just going to get frustrated, okay? Here's what happens. Somebody calls me about a property, and let's just say it's in Ball, Louisiana. This happened last week. Somebody called me about a property and said it might be an opportunity as an investment. Before I even leave my house, okay, I know what it would sell for if it was renovated. I know what the asking price is. I know the situation before I take my time to go over there and walk through this house and get other people involved. Why would I do that? Okay, because that's an hour of my life when I get over there and get back. That's an hour of my life that I could not get back if it doesn't work out. Now, being that I did all that, does that mean it's going to work out? No, but I went over there prepared, right? 8, 5, 3, 1. I went over there prepared, ready to go. The woman didn't want to give me the house. for what it needed to give to be a good investment. So good. I put my best foot forward, right? Why am I talking about this? Because when I start training Jay McKinney, I'm going to make sure his wife's there. I'm going to make sure that everything is done like it needs to do. I'm not going into this deal blind. Why? Because my time is the most valuable asset that I have. I have to invest it, right? So here's what happens. I call Jay. I set an appointment with Jay, okay? And he sets an appointment with Loman. First appointment we ever do at his house without his wife there, okay? So for me, I went over there. That's basically me going over there without checking out that house. That house had a hole in the roof. I just drove 30 minutes and didn't even realize it had a hole in the roof. Now I just wasted my time. So I get over there. I do the appointment with Jay because now it's damage control. But I'm not making that mistake again. We're going to get this thing done the right way. I'm going to invest my knowledge into Jay. And if Jay will receive it, I just made a good investment of my time. If Jay will not receive it, I made a poor investment with my time. So what I'm trying to tell you is the reason I'm so anal with my time now, two reasons. Number one, I failed so much early on in the business, like David just alluded to. I did it so wrong. I learned from my mistakes. Now, I'm one of those people, man, it takes a lot of doing it to finally figure it out. And thank God I finally figured it out. But my point is, stop making the mistakes with your time. It's real simple to qualify an appointment. It's real simple to make sure that the husband and wife are both going to be there, kneecap to kneecap. It's real simple to do those things, but we don't do them because we don't value the importance of them. The second reason I'm so anal with my time is because I got people depending on me to create a legacy, okay? If people are depending on me to create a legacy, I don't have any time to waste. You know what I'm saying, Jay? I don't have any time to waste. I worked all week. I'm working right now. Mama's at a church seminar, a women's church seminar. I'm taking my kids hunting and then to hang out with some people. That is quality time that I'm spending. But you can believe that while I'm doing all those things, I'm mature enough, smart enough, and it's important to me to create more activity through me doing my family time. So here's what I got to tell you. We're going to wrap up. Jay, bring that picture up for me, that deal up for me. If y'all don't know, this is where we're going. Okay, we are going here in January. We're bringing 5 winners. This is a house in Branson that Mallory picked out. It's absolutely phenomenal. If you haven't been to Branson, you're missing out. I want you to win it. But here's the deal. All right, you can take it down now. Oh, keep going. Keep going. I didn't realize. There we go, Jay. Isn't that pretty? I mean, it's one of the most beautiful locations that we've ever been to. Mallory and I went 4 or 5 years ago. I didn't really want to go. I'd never been. By the time we left, we had put in an offer on a condo to purchase. That's how we feel. That's how strongly we feel about Branson. Okay. But okay, Jay, you can take it down. But here's the deal, guys. Some of us are going to Branson. I'll sit here and tell you. I believe David and Kesha 100% are going to be in Branson, obviously. They're RVPs. They're going to be with me. I believe Daryl will be there. I believe Jay will be there. But the way they're competing, there's a trip that and they went after it. But my point is this. If you use your time wisely, if you understand that you can win this competition, I'm not saying go to work fully so you can win a competition to Branson. I'm saying go to work for your family to get on the leaders board, to make yourself feel better, to chase joy and be proud of yourself. And I'm saying if you do it for that reason, you will end up in Branson. Okay. You will absolutely end up in Branson with your partner or whoever it is. And you will be very, very proud that you won the Branson trip, but you will also be so much further along than you were starting this competition. Again, this is for the entire Alexandria office. So I'm going to put the standings up here in a minute. We are a little behind, which is normal on Labor Day weekend, but we're going to catch up. We're going to catch up starting right now. We're also at some point today, along with updating who is leading this competition, I'm going to update with the next opportunity meeting in Alexandria. That will be this month. It will be, we're going to have a potluck. I'm going to get Blake in here. It's going to be special. Let's use this weekend to make sure that we set as many appointments as we can for next week. And when you're doing that, I encourage you to let your upline know so y'all can lock arms and do it together. So great job, Daryl, Jay, David, and Kesha. Love y'all. Let's take it to another level. I appreciate y'all. Let's have a great weekend.